Hello everyone, this is Karst, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. So last episode we talked to Kuno a little bit, and we learned about Kuno S, who's a little scary. We found out about his abusive father, and managed to get into the actual apartment buildings, which I was very happy about, because it took me many tries to actually get in there. And we got in there, we found enough money, and now we're just about to head back out in order to pay for rent for the night. Also, we did run into Kuno's father, and we dealt with that quest. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, I'm back. And, oh, wrong side. Alright. Let me go back into the actual field, do the autopsy, and then I guess we can sleep for the night. Assuming Kim wants to keep working, since it's already midnight. Oh, I say that, but now I'm also like, actually, I can read the case files in my notes as well. There's still a bit I could be doing. Quite a bit I could be doing. Alright. Kuno, I am going to not give you your drugs, just so you know. I know you're not going to like that, but, you know, it is what it is.
Fuck does Kuno care?
The boy turns to you. He doesn't care. Kuno, let's talk about your shack again.
The fuck do you want with it?
What was the pig head?
Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
Cool pig head. I liked it. I got one too. This one. Point to your head. It's shit. I think that would ingratiate myself to him. I think he would like that.
What?
What is this shit? Fucking on yourself. This is weird level shit. Kuno doesn't go there.
He looks confused.
Fuck your shit back to normal. What is this?
I got experience for it.
Well played. No one saw that coming.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
I took care of the drug situation.
Alright, so you got Kuno's kilo. Here is how we do it. First, you give Kuno Kuno's kilo, then Kuno gives you half back. That's how we split it. It's the best way. Street way.
Aren't you going to ask how I got past your dad?
Word on the street is, you sent your little friend in dressed as a hooker, distraction style. That's some sick shit.
He nods approvingly to the lieutenant.
Not a single muscle moves on the lieutenant's face.
Kuno wants to hear all about it, but first we split the kilo, then we shoot the shit.
He leans in. I'm keeping it. You don't need more drugs. You're 12.
Alright. Kuno knew you'd try that sneaky pig shit on him.
He taps the side of his head.
Tell him, Kuno.
Kuno's got brains. This shit doesn't surprise Kuno. So Kuno's gonna give you one more chance. Know this, pig. Shit is major.
He squints at you.
Major fucking choice, pig.
Kuno won't take this shit lightly. The pieces are moving, pig. This is fucking domino shit.
It's hard to see how not giving a boy a bag of amphetamine would cause some catastrophic cascade response. Hard to see, but easy to feel. Somehow, this will change things. It's not hard to see at all. You hand out drugs to kids. The lieutenant's faith in your judgment will diminish significantly.
Yeah, obviously. What if any is the downside of not giving the drugs to Kuno?
None that you can see. No, you can see it. This young man has junior officer material in him.
Does
in
he?
Another life, where he trusts you.
Tick, 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 tick. Decision time. What's it gonna be? You gonna fuck the Kuno?
Junior officer material, but that's only if he trusts me. The thing is, though, like, giving him the drugs now will continue to ruin his life. Granted, he might still try to look for more drugs in alternate ways. But, yeah, this is staying with me. I'm not giving it to him.
Alright. You fucked the Kuno. Everybody, Kuno got fucked by his pocket pig. Just when we getting our business on, the pig throws it all away.
He throws his hands up in the air.
I told you he can't be trusted. I told you he'd steal the shit.
Relax, see? We got plenty of kilo. Kilo underground, in the tree. This ain't about that.
He turns to you.
This is about you and Kuno. You mismanaged this shit. Now everything is fucked between us. How are you gonna make this up to the Kuno, huh?
There is genuine disappointment below the act, sire. In truth, Kuno doesn't really believe there's anything you can do to make up for this. The damage is irreparable.
I looked around in there. It's not the easy life you've got going on in that apartment.
The fuck do you know about Kuno's life? Kuno's got plans. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we got plans.
Kuno, I met your dad.
Yeah? How the fuck are you still alive, pig?
Kuno, your dad is a half-dead alcoholic. He was sleeping under some clothes.
What?
His eyes become large and round.
His posture changes. The swaying rooster motion stops for a second. Then he gets it going again, reorienting himself.
Fuck right. Kuno's dad was sleeping like a bum. Kuno told ya. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about anything. Fucking breaking and entering shit. That's nothing to Kuno's dad.
He snaps back.
You got lucky, pig. Kuno knew this. Kuno's fucking violent fiend dad's been drinking hard lately. Kuno knew you have a way in. Narrow window. Kuno window.
Stop acting tough, kid. You don't have to be scared of him anymore.
Kuno's not fucking trying to be tough. This shit is real. Kuno's fucking violent dad's gonna be a vegetable. Kuno knows that shit. Stroke shit. Stomach fucked up, and Kuno's gonna go out like that too. Gonna be just like Kuno's violent dad. Speed shit, crime shit, fucking on the bed. Go out West Revachol style.
I would like you not to have to go through that.
Stop saying all this sad shit, Kuno.
The whisper comes out smaller than usual.
There's a touch of grief in there.
Fuck are you talking, sad? Kuno's got hard shit, death shit, nothing shit.
He punches the air. You don't have to turn into that.
Get your fucking nun-ass out of here before Kuno fucks it dead. You think 'cause you took Kuno's speed, Kuno's gonna sub like a turn into... Kuno ain't turning into shit. Kuno is that shit.
If he doesn't stop soon, he's going to collapse from exhaustion. He's red all over.
Kuno won! Oh, you won, Kuno!
The relief is palpable. The little hat jumps up and down behind the fence. There were tons of unpaid utility bills there.
Fuck right there were. Fucking 3 years or some shit.
That's no place to live in. You have to find somewhere else.
That's right. It's a shithole. Kuno's gonna move underground. Leroy shit. Ancient shit. Kuno's gonna live in a fucking catacomb.
That does not sound good.
Yeah, in a tomb, Kuno!
The little one seems overjoyed at the prospect. I did right not to give you the drugs. Let's conclude this.
That didn't change shit, pig. That only made things worse. Fucking social worker shit. It doesn't work, pig.
It doesn't work, Kuno. Only our shit works.
Okay, I'm off.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Alright. Okay. What's this then?
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. The belt is still around his neck. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy.
Let's do it.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
First, what exactly is a field autopsy?
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
He pulls on a pair of latex gloves.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Et puis descend, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
Yeah, why don't I know? What use am I?
You must have me confused with the Copperpedia.
Who's a Copperpedia? I think I need to talk to him.
You, sir, you are the Copperpedia.
But I should know what a field autopsy is. Do you have another pair of gloves?
Unfortunately, no.
I have gardening gloves. Maybe they'll be enough?
They are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things while you will take notes.
We just fill this in, right? Show him the red field autopsy form in your ledger.
That's right.
He nods. Open your ledger to the field autopsy
The
form.
dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, An 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with
Begin. 1. Assistant.
That's you.
I'll write the initials, HDB.
the corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says
2. Coroner's case number.
KK57-0803.0815.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date 0803 and time of arrival 0815 on the scene. He's indexed the case after himself, not you. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
Shouldn't we file the coroner's case under me? Technically, I arrived at the scene before you.
And what would that make the alphanumeric?
HDB 41 0803. Help me out with the time of day, anyone?
True.
11:11. It's meaningful. 10:15. It's understated.
I don't need meaningful. I'll say 10:15.
Good. Let's go with that.
The lieutenant is quite surprised you managed to come up with an adequate case number.
Name 3.
NA. Next.
4. Date of birth.
NA.
Yep. Age.
Roughly 50.
Dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side.
Okay, I'm gonna write around 42.
He nods.
6. Race.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mwindi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish.
I'll write it down.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Sex.
Fucky, fucky!
The little monster exclaims energetically.
Male.
Pigs can have sex.
I'm gonna write male.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Date of death.
We're still going with March 4th. 51.
Yep.
What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
He looks over your shoulder.
HDB 41 0803.1015 listens, motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
11. Evidence of treatment.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
What exactly is treatment anyway?
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
How did you not know that? Aren't you a cop? You're leaving a weak impression here. Say something sure-handed.
I'm not so sure. Didn't the footprints look like he was carried over?
They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dogwalkers.
He places his hand on the dead man's chest as if in preparation.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosenkrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath.
So you're telling me it's a standard right for the RCM officers to perform for a dead body.
We should start the post-mortem.
Turn the page.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
1. External examination. Summary.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
He turns the body onto its side to check the underwear label.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
I'll write it down.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
Write it down.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design.
Write it down.
Tattoos.
He stands up, feet planted on either side of the body.
The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini.
Write it down.
The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end.
Write it down.
Well nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature below freezing.
Write it down.
Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with the age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Touch the corpse's hair before moving on. Why? I'll do it.
His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living person after a swim.
Stroke his hair gently.
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to your hand, like thread off a rag doll's head.
Gross.
There's brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil.
Write it down and I'll add the brilliantine.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max.
The kid explodes.
Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest. Consistent with predation.
Write down.
Ligature mark.
The lieutenant produces a small folding knife. With the other hand pulling on the belt, he starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious that the material cannot be cut.
The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
He concedes, breathless.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared. Pet the chain cutters.
The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
Ew. Good thing we got these chain cutters. Pull out the rubber gripped cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now,
He points to the rope squeezing the dead man's neck.
we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Let's look for a good spot to cut.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the east. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there, steady now, like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose.
Physical instrument, medium 11, cut the belt off. 92% interfacing, gave instructions. Please do not fail.
After some deliberation,
Oh, good, thank you.
You sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow.
Press down.
Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
The lieutenant has kneeled closer, running his finger along the dark red groove until there's a gap.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest, pulling up.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters.
Write it down.
Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia.
He presses down on the chest, and he pulls down the man's underpants. Well, the kids are gonna love this.
No! Let's get up and see!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Inspect the genitals!
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
Okay, write it down and move on.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip.
He struggles to turn the corpse on its side.
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
This scarring is extensive, way more than a law official's.
We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars.
Write it down.
Last item, hands.
He takes the man's right hand in his, inspects it, then moves on to the other hand. Pick up the hand.
The hand is surprisingly heavy to lift, filled with decay liquids. Feels as though it could explode if squeezed harder. You're suddenly repulsed, so much so you feel compelled to drop it.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
The lieutenant says as 5 cold sausage-like fingers slip from your hand. Were we expecting any?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, the stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment.
I don't blame you. I'll write it down.
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
He turns to the side to breathe. It's not enough. He buries his face in the sleeve of his jacket. You hear a muffled voice. Yep. Internal examination summary.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
No,
Of
not
course,
really.
There is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
Sure, if I may add the moral of the story.
What would that be?
He looks at you inquisitively.
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
The brain is very vulnerable to compromises in its blood
I
supply.
think that may well be the moral of every story, officer.
The lieutenant grins. I'll just write NA.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
He gets close to the mouth hole, eyes squinting from the stench.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous.
Ugh.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable.
Write it down.
Respiratory system.
Back hunched, as if in prayer, he begins to pry open the dead man's jaws. He stops to exert more force. Both hands are used.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
Look inside the dead man's mouth.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his.
Ugh. Look deeper inside.
It's hard.
Ow!
Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking. Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
Lovely.
Mute silence as always.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
The lieutenant repeats impatiently. He lets go of the jaws. The mouth snaps shut before you. Write it down.
Hepatobiliary. NA.
He wipes his brow. Why? Don't we have anything?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
He looks at the corpse's stomach with a mixture of tiredness and disgust.
Hepato means liver, and biliary, the gallbladder and bile ducts.
Am I an expert in those things?
Nothing in your alcohol-soaked memory directs to having forensic expertise on either one.
I don't think so.
Neither am I.
And that's it?
That's it.
Alright, NA.
Same for toxicology and serology. NA.
Both?
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there.
Reservoirs? No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
The completionist in me wonders if there's something else that we could still do.
Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request.
I'll write NA and then add a toxicology request.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging.
Write it down.
Gastrointestinal.
He breathes a sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around and to the ground, the pool of feces there.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
He touches the corpse's bloated lower abdomen briefly. I'll just write it down and omit the voila.
What's next on the list?
Description of injuries, summary.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Okay. 1. Bite marks.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
Write it down.
And your opinion, officer?
Beneath the description, there are 2 boxes waiting to be ticked. A. Opinion, fatal injury. B. Non-fatal, post-mortem. I have to assume it's post-mortem.
Agreed. Next injury?
Contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
Kuno.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Right.
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Write it down.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Non-fatal, post-mortem.
Right. Next?
What's the 4th injury field for?
Nothing. Just in case.
Fair enough. Ligature mark. Finish the autopsy.
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Write it down.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
He's awaiting my judgment.
Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
A. Opinion, fatal injury.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But it's a start.
He cracks an uneasy smile.
Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
Okay, he produces a small black plastic roll from his jacket. A body bag. First, how'd you go?
Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
What else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
Okay, what now?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg.
I'll rip out a copy of the autopsy pages.
For processing.
He looks at the dead man one more time, then at the slip of red paper in his hand, then at the corpse again.
He's thinking, did I miss something? You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse.
Very low.
I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
This is really concerning me. Very low chance. Ugh, but it's a white check. I can retry it. Stop wasting time. You're smart. Established probable cause. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Very low 3%. That's terrible. Inland Empire. Tell me, who are you, dead man? 83%.
The fish lips
Come on.
stay silent in response.
I told you, he is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build.
3%.
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough.
Look under his fingernails like him already
His
did.
fingernails have turned dark. They're chipped and quite long. There is dirt under them. That's all.
Do you think we missed something?
You can't shake
Probable.
the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
I've got a gut feeling there's more to this corpse.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast.
Okay, where do we need to where do we find a bridge for the fridge for the body?
Hey, wasn't there a giant ice bear sarcophagus below that building?
Oh yes! A wide smile appears on his face. He points towards the commercial area.
Why, yes, there was. It was massive. Red eyes glowing in the dark.
An absolutely colossal fridge, still plugged in, literally in the shape of an ice bear.
Yes. Now, I've rarely been disappointed by the size of a giant ice bear fridge, but I think we should still take a look at it first. Make sure it's big enough before we carry him over.
Fridge the victim's body.
Let's move. With every hour, whatever we are looking for in the deceased will become harder to find.
Agreed. Let's go. Kid, don't touch the body. Let's get back to the commercial district. It's just right here, and then we can compare the size of the fridge. Is this done yet or no?
This orange machine is turning the crank. Feels it's all gone now.
Nope. It's very dark down here. Very dark indeed. Did I turn this off or is it still running? It's still running.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over all the ice cream wrappers hidden inside its belly.
So, what do you think of this fridge, Kim? It looks big enough for 2 corpses.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is capacious and cold enough, too.
But the optics on this are awful, he thinks. We need to be as silent as we can. Your visual confirms you could fit 2 more bodies in the ice bear fridge.
Shall we go and get the body then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we'll manage.
The 2 of you. Easily.
Okay, let's do this. Clap your hands.
The body is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get the body to the butcher. Then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back
Ugh.
to admire your handiwork.
Yikes, dude.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bear fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
Really? He says, wiping his hands in his handkerchief.
You've definitely earned a drink after this. Perhaps even some pagan rites.
Really? You think it's good work?
No, not really.
Okay, fine.
Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in a nice bear fridge. This story does not leave this room.
Fair.
He means it. He doesn't want to be the ice bear cop.
We did our best with the means at our disposal.
Did we though? Okay, maybe we did. At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
So I need to boost empathy, and I would like to boost perception. Okay. Let me close the door for now. Empathy. Do it.
The
All right.
bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Why is it still locked? I just boosted it. Why is it still locked? That doesn't make sense. I can get it up to 6. Do it.
The bear's eyes are still
Can't do
red.
it. What? That doesn't make sense. I'm gonna load because suddenly I can't do it anymore.
The corpse stands slumped, waiting.
Okay, so I'm back. I don't know why it's still locked though. Even by putting skills into empathy, it's still locked. Perception is still only 8%, but I've refrigerated the body. So I can try it once, fail, boost perception, and try again.
You
Ow.
touch the dead man's body. His skin is cold, light blue and silvery in the light of the fridge. You still have no idea where to begin, or what to even do with him.
It'll come to you sooner or later. At least he's safe here until then.
The lieutenant rubs his side for warmth. Let me boost my perception in that case. I'm gonna quickly save. Alright, let's boost perception. Where are you? Yes.
The bear's
Alright.
eyes are still glowing
17%. It's still pretty low.
guarding over the freezing corpse hidden.
Let's see. Is there any clothing I can equip that will give me perception? Interfacing. Anything that's -2 perception? No, okay. Logic, authority, conceptualization, more logic, savoir-faire. Nothing here gives me perception, which is not stellar. Okay, well, try again.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. You touch the dead
Nope.
man's body.
It'll come to you sooner or later.
That's okay. We'll come back to it. I don't want to risk anything else tonight. Okay. So in that case, I think I still have some more reading in front of me because I want to read those case files. And then I can go back into the Whirling in Rags and see if those Union people are still chilling around here. It might be too late for them, though. Yeah, they're long gone. Fine.
The theme on that pinball machine is a standard royalist theme, used on everything from pinball cabinets to full-flavor cigarettes.
What are its hallmarks?
Clinging to a picture book version of the past century, waiting for the king to come back and cast out all the profiteers and homosexuals. Basically, imagine a yellow plastic crown with a liquor brand emblazoned on it.
Wait, where do I get such a crown?
It comes free with a 6-pack of Vermilion Roy d'Or. The words Roy d'Or are stamped into the crown's plastic.
The idea of a king in Century Gone is pretty fascinating.
The sentiment is called anti-centennial nostalgia, pining for a time before the turn of the century. It's common even now, after 50 years.
Okay. It's a bowl. There's spit in it, reeking of tobacco. Lovely, they've got their own little spit bowl. Or spittoon. You see hawthorn bushes outside. Photos of men in overalls toting guns and Union placards. Okay, well it's too late, so they're all gone, as we kind of thought would happen. Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and read all of the cases. It occurs to me that I actually haven't finished everything I wanted to do. I'm also seeing that his notebook just kind of hangs out in front of him, and it's gone. Wonderful. Okay, so there's a few more things. I don't know if I can actually do it all tonight. But off the top of my head, if the racist guy is still here, I can still intimidate him, right? Nope, he's not still here. Fair enough. And I haven't investigated the mystery lady in room number 10 in the apartments, so I do want to take a look at that before going to bed, essentially. It's almost 2 in the morning. We're almost there. And then tomorrow I can finish off those additional quests that I have lying around. Come on. If she's still awake. Are you still awake in here, lady? No, she's gone to bed. Fair enough. Maybe I'll just have to deal with it another time.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
This apartment is supposed to be empty. Did you break in here?
Excuse me? Of course not.
Scare them. Suspected of some big crime. There's no sweet talking your way in there. Be official. You have plenty of reason to enter.
I don't need a warrant if I suspect that there's been a break-in.
Oh, come on.
There's a pause before you hear the door being unlocked.
Well, that was easy.
That was smart.
The lieutenant says, nodding towards the unlocked door. Alright, what am I dealing with? Hello? Well, before anything else, I'm gonna loot your... +1 to indirect modes of taxation. What? These Per and Ingersoll shoes have no lacing but a strap and a buckle. Due to their elegant and affluent design, they have been described as the most advanced dress shoe. So advanced, in fact, that walking through slush and mud does not leave a single trace on them. +1 to indirect modes of taxation. Is that like an actual stat? I don't think so. It's like grayed out, so it might just be... It might just be for flavor. Affluent moneymaker, man. I'll wear it for now. I don't really know.
The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk straps. After spending an entire day hustling, who's to say that you didn't deserve a pair of ridiculously expensive shoes on your tired feet?
You're right. Beautiful things do make people happy.
Beautiful things give you a rush. It's power. Crafting your style, draping your flesh in silk and leather, deciding how to present yourself to the world. Remember, when they come to take it away from you, you worked for those shoes. Whether you like it or not, wearing these shoes has made you more liberal. Ultra-liberal.
What do you mean by ultra-liberal?
They're either a gateway drug or a booster pack to get you deeper into free market ideology.
Okay. I'm just gonna put these on again. I'll have my composure for now. I thought it was gonna give me like bonus money or something. Not ultra-liberalism. What is this? A blister pack of medicine peeks out of the box. You should take it. Looks like a fine mattress. Don't be ridiculous. You can hear it swarming with bugs. Ew. Let's talk to the lady here.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
She jingles a set of keys in her hand. I'm going to say right now, this portrait is really creepy, and it's unnerving me quite a bit. I do not like that at all. It's the eyes and the smile, I think.
Boy, there are a lot of different keys there. More than 20, at least. Her voice is really cheerful, despite her obviously hating you.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
She fumbles through her purse, fishing out a light paper-clad passport. Sure, I'll inspect it.
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, along with all her personal details.
Everything seems to be in order. Hand it back.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour.
She slips the passport back in her purse. Also, we're talking to this lady at 1:48 in the morning. What are you doing here?
I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place.
She sighs and looks around. Reprehensible. Who lived here? Well, I mean, that's not what he would say, I don't think. Sounds like they knew how to have a good time.
It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent.
She stops, hesitating.
A sudden serious look crosses her face. This story didn't have a happy ending.
No, evidently not.
But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry.
Agreed. Isn't it a bit late to be working? It's 2 a.m. Let me ask this now. Who lived in the foreclosed apartment down the hallway?
Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
She snaps her fingers.
The sum must have been puny.
My money has also disappeared, I think.
Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't let it.
It couldn't have been that much money. These apartments look pretty shabby.
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million-real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life, spark, and they are affordable.
That sounds like a well-rehearsed sales pitch.
I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards.
Uh-huh. You're a good salesperson then, I assume. Well, you are, a real estate agent. So wait, what happened with the wall?
Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both.
She's still shaking her head, manicured hands now crossed over the chest. Isn't it a bit late to be working?
It is.
She breathes in and out to the count of 3. It looks like some sort of special stress release technique before she continues.
Everyone says the real estate agents don't do anything. But here I am in the middle of the night cleaning up someone's crash pad. So the sooner we get this over with, the better.
She means you. Time for the next question. That's all, thank you.
Of course.
She replies with a smile, but her eyes remain glazed over. She's been waiting for you to leave. She's a bit suspicious. She could also be our mystery lady as well. Possibly. Hypnogamma. I'll take it. Alright. I'll tell the cleaning lady tomorrow in the morning when, when she's actually around. So back to the whirling in rags. I'm going to read my case notes now. I've been putting that off long enough, I think. And then I guess we'll turn in for the night and talk to Kim before we do it. Just a little awkward run back to the whirling. We'll make it eventually, I promise. Kim's probably struggling to stay awake. Okay, let's go back inside. At least let's read indoors. Alrighty. Where are ya? Ledger.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from it. Takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Which one do you want?
Let's start from top to bottom. The Next World mural.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne.
Okay.
Cause of failure: rent too high.
Fair enough.
The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible, only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class." People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the belles lettres have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the Next World mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
Wait, do I ever find out who came up with it?
The case files do not show you finding the author of the design.
Well, that's unfortunate. Let's read on.
The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock. ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3.
I will admit right now, I don't know what a plebiscite is. A plebiscite? That's the first time I've heard that term.
The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between two options.
I mean, it's an art piece though, right? It's a bit of a bummer though, it's true. 9,000 people. I choose to believe that we can find good things in the life we're living now, but we should also plan for the future. I just don't want this message to drain everyone.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us.
I guess everyone's just super depressed in this world, which I guess makes sense. The middle class are not to be blamed, it's human nature.
Did anyone ask you what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger? What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done?
Fair enough. It's 2 in the morning. The unsolvable case. Well, it looks solved, so how'd I solve it?
AKA Leslie and Burke. AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable.
Let's elaborate on it then, yeah?
Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man. And you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration. The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear-view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which, in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability on par with you ceasing to produce the expression.
Hey, I'm gonna stop the expression at some point, maybe. Couldn't we just keep them off the streets?
You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home? No, Leslie and Burke are on the corner of Main Street and Perdition, because that's where the action is.
Fair enough.
Can you keep yourself off the streets?
True.
Threatening, fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years.
Damn.
It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing?
Leslie's the one who flashes people, okay.
Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger.
Well, that's attempted assault of an officer.
He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. The officer is also drunk. Way more drunk than Burke there. And let's be fair, you also have party eyes. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face, then proceed to beat him unconscious with it.
That might be a bit much for a reaction, though.
In the process, The ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke.
You're talking about the secret compartment with the letter from my loved one, right?
Kill them. They broke it.
That's a bit of an overreaction, Half-Light. No thank you.
He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore.
Is that really good news? How did I get out of that?
Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke. Who knows? But both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved.
I feel like this isn't really a satisfying conclusion, but okay.
Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one?
Yes, the square bullet hole murders.
It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape.
But
That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead.
a sequence killer.
Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next? Don't worry. One day you may still catch the man with the square gun.
Oh, we've never found him. Really? Okay. The couch in an unexpected location. Doesn't sound that interesting.
Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it.
They actually look like assholes.
Insufferable dicks. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it is. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it, and smoked cigarettes, and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved.
Did I ever catch those guys?
No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What next?
I mean, you're right. Like, this seems more like misdemeanor and, like, minor than anything else. Murder at the hookah parlor.
Murder. Tum at
Yep.
the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead. Of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlor.
Wait, how?
Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the hookah parlor.
Right, onto the murder.
Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve. Was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister. Was on it for, like, a month. The captain
Okay.
got impatient. Shit or get off the pot, Mills.
Okay.
Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had.
I'm not hearing the context behind the murder, though. Anyway, wait, was Joseph Mills a good cop?
No, he was awful.
Oh.
Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still,
Oh, that's
He'd
not
been
good.
on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. That murderer had vanished into thin air. That goddamn hookah parlor was all he talked about.
Go on.
Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day.
Can you get high off it?
No, it's soot and water vapor. It doesn't do anything.
Really stupid.
Yeah. So anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there. Only client that day. In perfect health, too. Some kind of movie producer. No one enters. No one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened? How can it be?
I don't know. You tell me.
Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin. Movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Tables low, heavy, really sharp edge.
Oh, so he sucked the hookah, stood up, passed out, hit his head on the table, and died?
See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom.
He must have sucked a lot of it.
Yeah, he liked his hookah. Stephen was his name.
And what was he doing there for 6 hours?
Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together. Next. Not
I'm
much
good.
has changed.
Okay, so we're at 2:09 in the morning. Was this?
Wow, you work hard.
I do?
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
What hard work do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged.
Fair enough.
That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
I ride till I die.
That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco-Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer.
I guess I've made some gills, sure.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
No, I'm actually not.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
It's because Guard is riding my butt.
The Gart man has set himself up one of those self-replicating money structures. You should learn from it. Don't play the victim. Think hustler. Think with your head.
The system is broken.
Boo-hoo. The system is broken. The establishment is keeping me down. That's not the fuck yeah attitude you're used to. What is this? Why are you so poor?
Taxes.
That's right. 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze. Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gossamer state that is Revachol?
I thought there were no taxes.
You and I both, but they got those indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax. This tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus, there's the stuff people in other countries pay for that makes them ask for more money from you here. The Gossamer state's a myth. In total, the coalition government is taking 98% of all your money.
Are you sure? That seems like a pretty big number.
What are you not sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed. Can't you see? Aren't you sick and tired of having bloody nipples?
Bleeding nipples are kind of a pain, but how will deregulation help with that? Opt in, but only a little.
It's all about the tax issue, hustler. No other problem in the world is as pressing as top marginal tax rates. And don't you fucking forget it.
Okay. What thoughts am I considering then? Indirect modes of taxation. -2 empathy. I don't want that. First, if you have a side ideology cooking somewhere, don't sweat it. Fighting indirect taxation for the Gossamer state is compatible with all creeds. It's cool like that. You're a cool anarchist now, unless you don't want to be an anarchist. Whatever, stuff this meal ticket in your eye socket, and let's see if we can steal some love back from the robber barons at the Customs Agency and the banditos at the Insulindian Financial Oversight and Competition Committee. I don't know if this is a good idea. The problem here is all these thoughts exist, but I don't know what bonuses I get from them. And I don't know if it's worth it. Yeah, I just don't know if it's worth it. I apparently have 4 skill points on me, so I'm going to unlock... Yep. I'm going to unlock some thoughts. I'm going to do the Jamrock Shuffle because I like looking in things. So I'll internalize that. Aces High for Kim. And let's roll with that for now. Yep, I'm okay with that. Do you want to chat, Kim, before we go to bed?
Yes? What about me? What do you mean? I have no...
The lieutenant, but this isn't an old school case.
So you're saying your brain never just chimes in with advice or warnings or anything?
I can't say that it does, no. When I need to think, I just use my notebook.
The lieutenant produces his familiar mnemotechnique A6 and idly thumbs through a few pages. That's where his conversation, we've been
through
our
this.
different...
Good.
Alright, Gart, let me sleep tonight, please. I know it took me, like, all day, and I missed all the people who were here. Also, I still have no way currently to get through this door, do I?
You see a heavy
Yeah, no, not yet. Alright.
Can I help you?
About my build for tonight. You work hard, man. You're up from like 8 in the morning working, and then it's 2 in the morning now.
20 real?
Yes, I do. 20 real for the night.
Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
How could anyone forget, asshole?
Goodbye. Time for bed. Are we gonna have another debriefing conversation, or am I just going to, actually go to sleep again? Okay, well, good night. See you in the morning, bud.
Yes?
Nope. Bye. Can I knock on his door and annoy him? No, I can't. Okay, fair enough. Let's check the mirror again. Can I stop making the expression now, or what? Oh, hello? Words fail to describe how rank it smells in here. They should have sent a poet.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Ooh, interfacing skill check. Let me put on the interfacing gloves first before I do that. All right.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall.
58%.
In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
So use my chain cutters to fix the faucet, stop steam from fogging up the mirror. Do I have it equipped? I think that would matter. Do I have the chain cutters equipped? I do indeed. Good. All right.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. The faucet is quite
Nice.
terribly mangled, but you just might be able to twist its parts into place. You handle the chain cutters deftly, applying just enough pressure. The faucet regains a recognizable shape. The steam stops. Told you that you needed those chain cutters. Everything is connected. Everything has a purpose. The mirror begins to clear slowly without you having to wipe it.
I like how there's still only 3% chance to stop the expression. And that's with +4 modifiers. Okay. I need to have electrochemistry in order to boost that skill check. So let me consider it. Conceptualization versus logic, physical instrument.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall.
8%.
It's barely
Still
covered in
incredibly
steam
low.
anymore. It's your face in the mirror, adorned with the expression.
Do it.
Still not happening.
Nope.
It won't come off that easy.
Well, I mean, I kind of figured it wouldn't. Okay, fine. Time to put these gloves back on and go to sleep. Good night, everyone. Is there anything actually to look at?
The
here?
windows stand.
Nope. Alright, good night.
The bed is still cold from the broken. The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
And time for more copyrighted
Here we
music.
are again, my broken bud. The waves are coming, carrying you away. Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
Time to open our eyes. Dawn of a new day. Day 3. Alright, I have a lot more health to work with today. Because I failed a bunch of rolls, but it is what it is. Let's get up. Also, are we in a connecting room with Kim? Huh, interesting. Can I try to get rid of the expression again today, or no?
A mirror hangs on the
Nope.
bathroom wall.
Nope, not allowed. Fine. Kim, let's meet up again. Are you still in here?
The door is closed. Still, you should punch a fucking hole in it.
Suppress the urge.
The murmur in your ears recedes slowly. Your breathing normalizes. That's one lucky door. This
Try
door
the handle.
can only be opened with a key.
Knock
Still,
again.
you should punch a fucking hole in it. The
No.
murmur in your
Alright, fine. It's like, you know what I'll not be doing? Punching a hole. Hey, more officers! Good morning. Hey, bud.
Yes?
Nope. Okay, I wasn't expecting more officers to turn up. What's going on?
The woman in an RCM patrol officer's uniform winces as she notices you.
I'm not that ugly, come on. Well, okay. It's rough, but come on, give me a break here. Horse-faced woman.
I would really prefer not to talk to you right now.
Why?
A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM, below lieutenant and sergeant.
Hold on, you're a patrol officer of the RCM?
Yes, I am.
She nods. Have we met before? Is this why you don't want to talk to me? I'm a cop too. Well, I'm sure she knows that.
I know.
Here's the real deal.
It's hard to tell whether he's sarcastic or sincere, but if you had to guess, you would say the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
Well, that's unfortunate. I'm on a murder investigation. Are you the cavalry?
I'm definitely not the cavalry.
Is everything alright? Why don't you want to talk to me?
I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you?
She's still avoiding your gaze. Have I wronged you? I've done that to a lot of people.
No, you haven't wronged me. It's okay.
She shakes her head and breathes out.
Okay, fine. Let's talk. What did you want?
What does one talk about with a fellow officer?
So, what precinct are you from?
What precinct?
She just sighs.
Fucking deranged lunatic.
The sunglass-wearing man pushes through his teeth.
You're getting an intellectually unsatisfying vibe from this conversation. Maybe you're doing something wrong.
Clearly. You're the police, right? Cool, so am I.
I don't know what to say.
She looks around.
Don't say anything, Judith.
Wait, is he police?
Me? No. I'm just a man with sunglasses. I like wearing sunglasses inside. Sunglasses and a fucking wig.
I mean, he must be. He's got the square or the rectangle.
Okay.
What are you, the police, doing here?
I'm just looking out for...
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses. And you are?
A policewoman.
Yes. A policewoman who just wants to do her job. That's all.
Her voice is quiet, and she looks away.
Something about the man with sunglasses and you, the energy between you two is making her uncomfortable.
Okay, goodbye. And you
look
are?
like shit.
Your ruffled face reflects in the man's sunglasses. Is this the dude from the radio? Like from my precinct? He's wearing a wig and sunglasses, but I don't know.
And I don't mean that as a metaphor.
Looks don't matter, it's what's on the inside that does.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm going by here.
Oh, come on, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough week on him.
The woman next to him sighs.
It's not just this week. What you want?
He scans you from head to toe.
There's something about this guy that matches with a face in your head. A similar but different face. He might be wearing a disguise.
Yeah. Kim, who is this guy?
I'm not getting involved in this.
He shakes his head. Esprit de corps. Cool shades. Are you wearing a disguise?
Yes, it's a hobby of mine.
He looks at you inquisitively.
As if waiting for some kind of reaction or response. Something to click. It's not happening though. Who is this guy?
Let's see if I can boost esprit
Watch
de
out
corps.
for yourself, loser.
That voice, so very familiar. Did you hear it when calling to your station and reporting your badge missing?
That's what I thought. Wait, your voice. I recognize it.
Oh, really? I wonder where.
I lost my badge recently. When I called in to report it missing, you were there.
That's the where you remember me from?
Maybe. I have a bit of... Point to you head. Your head, please. Memory trouble.
You don't say. Goodbye, then. The voice thing was a coincidence. Run along, asshole.
He turns away from you. Okay, well, I've pointed him out with his voice now,
I can't
so...
believe this
Nope.
shit.
He shakes his head, looking like he's really having trouble believing this shit. Okay, let me see if I have any more clothes that gives me esprit de corps. That does. Reaction speed, rhetoric. This does. Oh no, it's the same deal though. Yeah, I don't have anything else that gives me that bonus. Okay, I have no
Again?
choice. I've got some questions for you.
This shit.
I'm a cop.
But what? You don't look like a cop. You know what you look like?
Like a megastar?
Yes, a superstar cop. Of course. This again.
This
He
again.
didn't answer your question.
Now will you answer some questions for me?
No,
He says calmly, then keeps staring at you. Why not?
because it's not my job. Why don't you go and fucking do yours and solve this damn hanging?
If you don't want to answer questions, maybe you just want to hear me say things.
Actually, I don't want to hear you say things.
Come on, Jean.
Okay, say things. I want to hear you say things.
He adopts a lighter tone.
Hear that? He wants you to say things. Say one. Suddenly, out of nowhere, case-related things start popping up in your head.
Well, that's good. Okay, I'm doing this investigation, and a man is hanged.
So, do you know who hanged him?
Hey, why am I even telling you this?
I don't know. Why are you?
He gives you an odd look.
Oh my god, there's more. You want something more? What is it?
He looks at you in disbelief. Let's talk about the hanged man again.
Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing over again. We're not wasting time. There is no time. So, do you know who hanged him?
Not yet?
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh,
I don't know. Oh my god,
Okay.
there's more. You want something more? What is it?
there's something strange about this guy. Figure it out.
There's something
Ow.
that binds you to him. Some kind of an outfit, maybe. A uniform.
A firefighter's uniform?
Exactamundo.
I don't think he's a firefighter. I'm not going to ask that.
Of course, you don't have to. You can talk about anything you want.
Okay, then. See you around. We already know his name, but that's only purely because of that lady. These people are all chilling out here again. I haven't talked to any of them. But, again, I have a whole lot of side quests I could do instead of talk to them, which I kind of want to do. Because, I mean, I can talk to the cryptozoologist's wife again. Because I'm pretty sure I can go over the waterway today and explore the rest of the town.
Can I help you?
No. Lena, let's chat.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
She sounds glad to see you.
You know, to hell with it. Let's have more cryptids.
Of course, officer. I'm glad you like them. But I'm not...
No, I've already done all that. Okay. Do you have any new dialogue for me, sir?
The man ponders.
Nope. Alright. Don't think there's anything else down here. Well, the good news here now is I know your name.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
She crosses her arms. Are you Lizzie or Elizabeth, Miss Beaufort?
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardie.
She points to the tall man by the table.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes. In the way she stands. In her face. You caught her off guard. Push her some more.
Easy Leo told me about you. He liked to talk a lot.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men.
You set the pace and the topic of these conversations here. Establish that. A man like Easy Leo could have said anything. Do not be restrained, sire.
He said you were in debt to Mr. Clare.
I represent the Union and these men here. Don't make this personal.
She points to the crew around the table. Yeah, but if you're the legal counsel and you're biased, that defeats the purpose, does it not?
A very minor victory.
Maybe. We'll talk later. Well, actually, let's see if there's any more questions.
Suggest not.
Even though you caught her off guard.
You are not.
You said that a man like Easy Leo could have said anything. Do not be restrained, sire.
He said you're the Union fixer. You fix things.
I am a legal counsel. Don't make this personal.
A very...
Okay. I'll leave it for now. I was wondering if there might be, like, additional rewards for doing the other dialogue choices. I kind of want to see what's up with the window. I'll ignore him for now.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
What the hell? It's not time yet, but there's a mysterious door that I see. Squint.
There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside.
Well, there's no point wasting my perception rolls on this, so I'm going to revert my gaze. Alright, Titus, I avoided you on the first day that you were here, so I'll talk to you now.
This is where you say your bed.
A broad-shouldered man points at you with a beer can.
Detective.
The lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you. First, we need to talk about your attitude. Actually, no. We need to talk about the man hanged out back.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that one.
He looks around.
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get real ripe and pretty for you.
He looks at Titus for approval. Oh, great. It's one of those yes men.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy. Hanging up there, letting out that pretty boy smell.
Which one is Glenn? This one?
I can't for the life of me understand why you did it. I mean, I would have just left him up there. You must really like cleaning up other people's shit.
Apparently.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them. Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match.
True. Scan the room.
Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man. In his 30s. Overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right. Standard working boots. Size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room. Probably mid-50s. Smoker. Quiet. Across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots.
Which one is that? This one?
43. Gang tattoos. Mesk or Sarah Mauritian. In his late 30s, early 40s. He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock Quarter. There were incarcerations. Hard to say what else. The ink is fading.
Interesting. It's cool that I can gather this information just from the tattoos.
And then, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 46. The big dick. Wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips. Rugby cap. Fingerless gloves. And numerous scars. A little under 40.
Okay.
The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardie, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 44. 40-something. Non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum?
What's a plectrum? Where?
On his neck. Forget it. It's not important.
What does that mean? Why even mention it?
The musician.
And the little guy?
Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing.
That's 41. He's the light step.
In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boot size 46. Deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He, alone, is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220.
Fat Angus. Alright, so these guys are pretty much the ones who did it.
In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
Yeah, one of them is missing. The odd soul?
Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardie?
The fuck is with you, fella?
Titus is staring at you with his head tilted. I found 8 sets of footprints, but there's only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardie boy?
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardie boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here.
He sizes you up.
Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardie boy? We ain't hiring.
He shakes his head.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
Oh, of course. You're revealing the fact that the lady has been here. She's the odd soul, yes?
This person Glenn wants to hire. He really respects her. She? So there's an 8th Hardie, and it's a Hardie girl? Who might it be? Elizabeth? The gardener?
No, I don't think so. Probably lady.
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardie boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardie boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. End.
He points at the lieutenant.
You're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
The lieutenant adjusts his spectacles.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardie sooner or later.
I'm gonna ask the direct question now. The man hanged in the backyard, did you do it?
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
That I do. He takes a sip from his can.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Why is there a container belt around the dead man's neck?
Container belt? Like we use in the harbor?
Yes, why?
Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him.
It says...
As he speaks, his fists contract, going through the pulling motion again, savoring it.
We did this. Together. All of us. Until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck.
He looks you dead in the eye.
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
Squint your eyes, but there's a catch.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
You murdered him just like that, no remorse?
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment.
The electric chair, got it.
The coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
And Reunion, what's that?
The River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the coalition, dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown.
What we do is different. We enforce the law. You just kill people like it's nothing.
But you see, a lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed that this man had to die.
So why did you kill him?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
So he was a mercenary, that's it?
And he stepped out of line.
He repeats, jaw clamped shut like a vice.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Kohoi and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
The man spreads his arms.
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hired merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
Hold on, how do you even know he was in Special Forces?
Because one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm Oranese goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some Oranese paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
He points at the stage.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Okay, right, but what did he actually do wrong?
Wrong? He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
He wipes spittle from his mouth. Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation?
True.
He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
Yeah, he did de-escalate.
Kill us all if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
He cracks his knuckles.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
The lieutenant is trying to make sense of this flood of information.
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl. Young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
He shakes his head in disbelief. Okay, so this guy... Yeah, he probably deserved the hanging. Still, there has to be more to this. Was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted? Raped, as you said?
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Fair enough.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
He repeats like a parrot.
There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
Right, but who did he rape then? This is a very serious allegation.
No. You're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
That's a moment of silence.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
Okay. Who called the shots that night?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardie boy without arresting all Hardie boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A shadow of a smirk passes her lips as she tilts her
A
head.
trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
I don't have to. One of them was more complicit than others.
That's for the courts in Les Jardins to decide. Not for the officer making an arrest. Which we all know you won't be. What you can do right now is go back to your station and write a report.
She sounds almost helpful.
No. We'll stay here and discuss what happened that night.
The lieutenant says calmly. When did this hanging incident occur?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
The fixer turns to remind Titus.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
How long have you known the victim?
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
Titus gives Glenn a stern look.
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? A representative for White Pines? The same company you're striking against?
The lieutenant pretends to check his notes.
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what?
He rubs his chin, pretending to mull it over.
Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
I might consider that.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
She turns to you. How did you kill him?
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
You're pretty sure you've had at least 2 years of cop school and many more of active service. Certainly enough to not put up with his backsass. Deliver a knockdown observation.
Now you listen to me, Sonny Jim. The autopsy showed the victim's hands were not tied. No signs of struggle. Explain this and make it real simple.
Look, I'm not gonna play 20 questions with you, capo. I'll say it again. We killed him.
He looks even more irritated than before.
That definitely caught him off guard. In comes number 2 to take care of it.
Of course.
Yeah, I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clubbed him in the back of the head. He went down like a sack of sand.
The tattooed one speaks up, banging on his chest.
That's right, lawman. And then we hanged the fuck.
He spits through his teeth.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it all adds up.
Ooh. Mr. Tats, what did you use to knock the victim out?
My fucking elbow, copper. Samaran boxing style.
He looks you straight in the eye.
Samaran boxing, or Sambo, is an eloquently violent set of one-on-one fighting moves, originating from the Samaran Isola. Sambo style implies stealth, cleverness, and cool. He may be lying, but he's good at it. No twitching, no rushing, no uncalled for details.
And where did all this action take place?
Right fucking here. Eugene already told you that the fuck had started coming to our bar.
He spreads his hands.
Yeah, man. Weren't you listening?
Alright, 83% chance. Things aren't quite right there, are they? Or things aren't quite right here, are they?
Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room. Given how many questions you've lobbed their way.
I hate this. I keep losing all the rolls. I'm just that lucky, I guess. All of them. Maybe one of them is fidgeting, cracking under the pressure.
This one, but he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
Right, I have other questions about the lynching.
Like what, copper?
Nothing for now.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus.
The lieutenant closes his notebook.
I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility, we're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us, real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Rent-a-cop? So that's what this is about. He doesn't see you as his equals.
I want to talk about the hanging again.
Again. Just get the dead guy's autograph, since you're his biggest fan.
Good one, Titus.
This seems a bit much. This seems dangerous.
About fucking time.
I'm gonna take off now.
The Jamrock Shuffle.
Okay.
In a way, yes, you are treasure hunting. Most officers from Precinct 41 do what is called the Jamrock Shuffle, cracking open containers. Most of them are from Jamrock or Coal City, the poorest parts of Revachol, that also overlap with the network of royal catacombs called Le Royaume, just beneath the streets. As children, you would all go underground, hoping to find treasure, and come back with a rat's tail or a used needle. That playful curiosity must still be in you. Who knows, Maybe one day the Orbe de Montagne, the Holy Scepter, and the Cocaine Skull will all be yours.
Sure. What bonuses? Find better loot in locked containers. Okay, that's okay, but it's not stellar. I'm really disappointed that I lost that roll. I'm quite upset about that. Alright. I lost because I got the critical failure. You know, the critical failure that I've already lost multiple times. The critical failure I've seen more than once. I haven't seen a critical success yet on a low roll. Okay. I'll return the ball to you. I've got a shot put ball.
Officer! God damn it. Pull yourself together, René. What do you want?
He rubs his chest and spits. I found you guys a new boule. Hold out the ball.
What is this? Are you mocking us? This isn't for pétanque.
The old veteran stares at the shot put ball in silence and speaks in a reserved voice.
Now. No need to get angry again, René. I'm sure the officer tried his best. It's not like there's a bull kiosk here in Martinez.
Exactly, and I really did try.
Trying is worth as much as is accomplished. In this case, almost nothing. Fine. You try to right a wrong. It's still a gram better than actual nothing.
Okay. Level up. I'll take it. Is there anything you can tell me about this rifle? Hold out the antique firearm.
It's a Bell McGrave. 4.46 caliber. Breech loading. Revachol made. Good weapon. Accurate and reliable. This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her?
He adds, handing the rifle back. In the basement there. Point to the bookshop.
I'm not surprised. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime weapons lying around here. Back in the day, everyone had something stashed away. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM-446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find.
I understand Jean-Marie meant a lot to you.
There's nothing for you to understand here. It is not her death you are investigating.
Were the circumstances of her death in any sense unusual?
Absolutely not. She died of pneumonia in her bed at the age of 79. This is highly usual.
That's fair. His voice is coarse. Where was the photo of you taken?
Revachol Fair of 91 in the Faubourg district. A parade was held to honor Guillaume Le Lion's name day, and the Carabineers marched in the place of honor.
You looked happy in the picture, smiling.
This was the happiest day of my life.
This is said in such a matter-of-fact tone it leaves no room for doubt. And what happened with you, Gaston? Gaston, and Jean-Marie?
I was 22 when I returned from King Guillaume's Akira operation in the south, and found my sweetheart in the arms of this wretch.
The Akira operation was a 7-year campaign, during which suzerain Guillaume's army forcefully united the people in the southeastern part of La Petite Continent, collectively known as the Akira tribes, under the Revacholian banner.
I won her back, but while I was dealing with some issues.
You were like a dark cloud sucking the joy out of every living thing around you. And you hurt her.
Well, he had PTSD, right?
Dark cloud. That sounds unpleasantly familiar.
He looks down at his boots, lips moving, but the words are inaudible.
Those days and memories are gone.
He nods and looks at René with something resembling compassion.
The old soldier says nothing, but when his glance quickly runs over Gaston's face, there's an odd look in his eyes.
What makes this old soldier so proud?
Still, all you see is an old soldier refuses to replace his uniform with a civilian attire.
Anything else I can assist you with, officer?
No, thank you for your time. Okay, what else do I have then? I guess I can go and talk to, what's his name? Where are you? Racist lorry driver, where are you? I'm looking for you. Yo.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
I need more half-light. We're done for now. Give me my... Is this half-light? It is half-light. Alright, I guess I'm gonna level up my half-light again. Do it.
Looking for something, Hunt?
Go.
Tell me to...
Men like this only respect two things. Strength and fear. Time to turn up the volume.
Show me her lorry right now. The lady driver's lorry. Where is it? Oh, wow.
Fuck you. I told you. I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
I've been to your lorry. I know where it is. I'm gonna burn it down. You hear me?
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
He tries to wave you off.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
Now it's not a big deal for him anymore. This is how he saves face.
Where exactly is her lorry?
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now leave me the fuck alone, okay?
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too.
Right, I'm going. Alright. I was kind of wondering if that was some tear just now. I found out about her.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man.
Nothing for now. Let's keep going. I'm so disappointed I lost the composure check. I know I could have reloaded, but unlike the Sylvie one, where I just felt like a complete asshole, like, it is what it is. Ruins full of snow. No one lives here anymore. Okay.
This screen found, A to Z, contemporary, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This must be the one he told us about. Unless he was lying.
The lieutenant peeks inside. Try to peek in the window.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and two steering levers.
Try the door handle.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. There's no pick in this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a recessed design.
I have the wrench, though, right? How are we going to get this open, Kim?
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside.
Good idea.
I don't know how good it is, but this investigation has taken long enough. We can't afford it to take any longer.
Fair enough. Pry bar time. I guess I didn't think of that for some reason.
This screen found, A to Z, contemporary, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
I like that because I lifted the weights, I have a higher chance of winning this.
With a firm grip, you raise the pry bar, a glint of light catching on the tip. Call down the hammer of truth and justice. Release your secrets, lorry cabin.
Mash it.
The window shatters, and droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement.
Subtle.
Says the lieutenant and sticks his hand in the window, like a common car thief, and then opens it.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Pull out the pull-out toolbox.
A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Unfold the newspaper.
It's an issue of Petit Ferique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Pick up the note.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
His thought trails off. Push in the pull-out toolbox.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Radio, posters, a trace of motor oil smell under all the cigarettes.
Admire the posters.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films. from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
Stop and wonder, what's that smell?
The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably Grenade number 5.
Study the centerfold.
The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. This is Tip Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
What happened to her?
She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here, on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too.
That's unfortunate. Enough of the posters.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Check the pedals.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle.
This is going to be the odd soul. This is why.
Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Yep. It's going to be odd soul, so there's something wrong with the other foot. Looks like the driver has glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip, because the bottom of the shoe is missing grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
The lieutenant repeats. The sandpaper would also rub off the pattern from the driver's right boot sole.
Yes?
He likes where this is going.
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
One of the footprints at the crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
The lieutenant's eyes light up behind his prescription lens. Wait, the missing 8th Hardie? Here?
Looks like her, yes.
And she's also the one running the drug trade. What a handful.
Now we know for certain who is the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardie and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
Oh, with the drug operation? Not necessarily. The lady driver could have kept the drug trade a secret.
You're right. But we should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
He writes something down in his little notebook.
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls.
Examine the radio.
It looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
Why would anyone need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV.
He flicks a switch on the radio.
Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range too.
A 20-kilometer radius at least. Perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
Is there anything we can do with this radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
What else is there?
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes.
Alright, close the door.
The old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective?
He steps away from the lorry.
To Joyce?
Sure.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well-funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the ULAN frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Listening in on your calls between you and your station, a worrying prospect.
Yeah, that would not be good.
And last but not least, it looks like the Hardie boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
So it turns out this is connected to the Union.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition.
Meaning, someone as slippery as Everard won't be caught by a couple of cops and some stuff they found in some cabin.
What about the movie posters? How do they factor into all this? I doubt they do.
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
A lot of women here, especially for a lady driver's cabin.
Yes, well...
He doesn't say anymore.
Unimportant.
Will the RCM open an investigation into this?
We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
He stops to think. What are you thinking?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
He nods. Okay, debrief over?
Debrief over. After you.
Alright. Let's get the hell out. Oh, he wants to talk to me? Hey officer, got a minute? Yeah? What's up?
I, saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
No trouble, she's gonna be fine.
Oh man, that's like a load off my mind. All that stress was messing up my rhymes.
He chooses to believe what's best for her.
What's the plan for those rhymes anyway?
Oh, you know. Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft.
The correct grammar is Tommy Lahom.
Why Tommy Lahom? Tommy the guy, the dude.
Tommy Lahom was taken. My real name's Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better.
It's more him.
Alright, I had another question actually.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
28%. Hit him with my best verse.
Your best verse? You don't even have a bad verse in here. Just tumbleweed and liquor stains. Wait, no. What are you doing?
She broke me. She broke me.
That's brutal, man. But you know, time will...
No, stop. He's already mortified.
No, Tommy, these are my rhymes. Listen. She screwed me till I bled.
That's,
Ow.
In the name of God, what are you doing?
It's not real, guys. It's not my actual thoughts. It's a poem.
Yeah, I get that, and it's cool, but...
I will never be the same again. She's always there. Screw the case. Screw everything. Total doom.
Yeah. I get it. These are your rhymes. They're from your life. Doesn't matter if they're robust, they're honest. So, thanks, man.
He's not lying. He liked the end.
Yes. And I also thank you for stopping. We have a drug investigation to return to. How about we do that?
42%. What do I see in his eyes?
Ease into it.
I will never win.
This seems like a personal matter.
My man, I want to know about your soul.
Cool. We all want to know each other's woes and all. But people, man, they have slippery souls.
Just like that, he slips out of your reach. It is possible the yelling didn't help.
That's all for now. Bye. Okay. Any reason for me to call back to the precinct?
You see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
Radio time.
57. How may I assist you?
Please connect me to the 41st. Oh, actually, have you heard back about the serial number?
Yes. The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Betancourt, sur la Clé in 42.
She looks at her notes.
It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Oranese pharmaceutical companies in the Semenine conflict.
So they were right.
So, it seems the armor went to Semenine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the armor was issued.
Do you know what it's called now?
The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Trinell. And the one before it was Downwell. I think they might be the same contractor.
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
First, has the firm continued to work for pharmaceutical companies through all of these name changes?
Hard to say. Their client list is rather diverse and incomplete. The only constant seems to be that the mercenaries are always deployed in third and fourth world countries.
A suit of armor like this would have to be customized to fit the wearer. There must be a record for the person to whom it was issued.
Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk them into it, though.
This is a fun challenge for her. An opportunity to contribute beyond doing her job by rote. She'll gladly put in the extra effort for Team RCM.
Yes, thank you, officer. I really appreciate your efforts in this case.
Glad to help. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more for you then.
Oh, always day by day, huh? Okay, please reconnect me to the 41st.
Right. Please hold.
10-4, come in. 10-4, sir. Sorry, but I'm under orders to give a negative to request for personal information. Over.
You mean you can't tell me anything about me? But I'm me.
10-4. Orders as your orders.
Alright,
Roger
bye.
that. 10-10.
Alright, fair enough. What else do I want to do while I'm here? Confront the Hardie boys about the drug trade. And I have to prove my authority to the Hardie boys. I should tell the lady. I still don't know what to do with the photo of the... You should probably talk to about 2 people about them. Wait, what? Victims tattoos. Someone can decipher them, tell you what they mean. You should probably talk to about 2 people about them for this. Ugh, excuse me? I guess I could ask, Joyce then, because she showed up with the guy. I didn't think they were connected like that before, but now I do. I kind of avoided the question before because I didn't want to reveal too much of my hand.
The circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
He does not look particularly happy to see you. Guess what? I've connected you to the local drug trade.
Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 Kilos.
He leans back, unruffled.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock?
He points south.
The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprints. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grâce?
He taps on his notebook, then turns to you.
The thought forms in your head, like a lightning strike branching in the sky. No, the thunder is his. Leave it to the lieutenant.
Okay. No, you do the honor. You've earned it, not at the lieutenant.
Thank you. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade, because it's all controlled by you. You're the drug trade.
He turns to face the man.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
He rubs his jaw, smiling.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. I know for a fact that there are still plenty of drugs out there.
No, there aren't. Some little shit and his dad are doing speed. Who fucking who? The stuff's probably from Jamrock.
Talking about Kuno and his dad, of course.
Little shit. That's Kuno in the yard.
Thank you for that reaction speed. I think I already had it figured out, but okay.
Whatever you've seen is peanuts. Look at the big picture, man. The place is a paradise. And all thanks to Hardie boys.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself.
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardie. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardie boys here.
The 8th Hardie, the one who's missing. She runs the thing, right?
My answer is fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardie. I run this goddamn scene.
He takes a step closer.
Finally, you got something out of him. This could prove useful in the future.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
The woman sighs.
I know! Fatty walked on all 4s. He's so fucking fat, he left 2 sets of footprints.
The little man raises his index finger excitedly.
Despite everything, the little man is quick on his feet.
Is he?
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all 4s. Anything else you need to know?
My authority's too low for this. I'm gonna take off now. Okay. I'm not proving my authority to him. Where's the rest of the armor? Open the apartment door. I'm gonna ignore that. Oh, I know, I already did it, actually. Fine. And then I have to do all this stuff. The jam mystery. Okay. Alright. I'm thinking I can go right. I'm gonna go back to the, to Everard. And then I'm going to tell him I opened the door, see what else he wants, and then I'm gonna head west across to the water lock.
Damn.
Oh, I'm gonna talk to Joyce first.
Good. Your heart's pounding nicely. You should tell people to fuck off more often.
It's not really my style.
Hey, I've got an idea on how to fix your style. Maybe you should just go fuck yourself, yeah? Ever thought of that?
Well, I just damaged my own morale. Do you have any new information for me?
Right,
nope. What about Measurehead? Can I walk up to him and try to fight him, I guess? I do want to see what my chances are of doing that are, so let's go and talk to him. Hey, Measurehead.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
I'm not subscribing to this. Why are you not with them?
You pick up on something artificial in his tone.
The heart now leave me be. Find
interesting.
There's nothing for me to actually fight him with. I guess the point is that I've already found a way in, I suppose. Okay. I am not going to be subscribing to his race theory, thank you. Have I not opened all these before? Oh, I did, okay. I was just wondering if I missed something. Can I do anything with this right now?
The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you as you pick up the handset.
Why would I put in the 10 coins? The 10 cents. A giant aspirin on the pillow and a pattern of coffee rings on the armrest. Someone is habitually chilling next to the radio. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna save and take a look, see if there's a point to putting in my 10 cents.
The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
Oh dear. Interfacing, 83% chance. Let your muscle memory dial a random number.
Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952, and a moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers. 993. Calling. Calling. Still calling. Then...
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy. How may I help you?
The voice of a youngster on the other end sounds as enthusiastic as that of a man walking towards the gallows.
What is this place?
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy.
Do you know me?
No.
No, I meant, what is this place to me?
Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here.
Why did I call you?
Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period?
My name is Harry Dubois. Do you have anything on my name?
Let me fire up the machine. Dubois. Dubois.
Keys are being pressed in the background.
Here we are. You haven't read anything in 5 years, but you still have a copy of Blue Ocean Hell from November 46. Whoa, not a fun film, that one.
What kind of a film is that?
It's not an easy watch. After the death of his daughter and subsequent divorce, Ziemsk immigrant Egidius Wojcik tries to come to terms with the onset of dementia.
This is a little too reflective of my actual life right now. In game, I mean, like as this character. My life is fine.
No wonder no one's been missing it. Still, it would be great if you could return it to us. We're on the corner of Voyager and Maine.
Voyager and Maine again.
The call is terminated by the other party. You're left with the discomforting sound of the disconnect tone.
Okay, well, that was a thing. A use of 10 cents for 5 experience. How do I leave this area again? How do I get down here? How do I get back to Everard? Do I have to jump across again? Oh no, the stairs are here. Okay. They're just blending in really, really effectively. Okay. Not this way. Just the awkward running. Can I do anything with this now? Have I boosted enough stats for it?
You're back before the cargo container.
Nope. Everard, I'm coming back. I've done your shady request. Do you have any new information for me, Leo?
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Louise
Leo,
said
in the
when she
future, can we
opened the
keep this
bathhouse
greeting
in the
shorter?
basement of my apartment building. Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm always willing to help out nice fellows such as yourself.
He smiles his disarming smile and looks you deep in the eye. Are you the Leo who wrote the note to make more banners?
Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht.
What was that about the borscht?
Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started.
The little guy chuckles merrily.
It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
He shakes his head with a wide smile. What do you mean by taking the soup to the men? Is it for striking?
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags.
Really? Hold up, who makes it at the whirling?
Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Something's off about this borscht. I'm gonna look into it.
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
He didn't actually understand what you meant, and now he's just nodding along.
Okay, I'm off.
Oh, hey, mister. Oh, that one.
Told you.
Okay. Everard, I'm back. Hello.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
What's in the container that's outside your office?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
There's something special about it. It was attached to the Cavalsand crane.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
He says with the fondest of smiles.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
I opened the door you just asked, that you asked me to open. Can we discuss the murder now?
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
He's trying to figure out if you're lying. There is no way to sway this man in any direction. He is unsuggestible and unswayable. Just tell the truth.
I may have gone inside and seen a collection of racist mugs.
Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissing on Everart's Rainbow Coalition.
He shakes his head.
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good.
He pretends to roll up his sleeves. The mug collection I mentioned was in the apartment. I found a similar mug in the trash with the hanged man's clothes.
Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me.
He grabs his head with both hands.
I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best. Helping people. With the power of politics.
I really hate how this photo, it looks like his eyes are unfocused and like off to the side. I don't know if that's actually what's happening here, but it's a little unnerving.
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you.
He shakes his head, laughing.
Oddly, it seems to be true.
But this weasel might have cleaned up after the killers.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this, but he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right?
He imitates bashing something with an imaginary baton. Say nothing. Oh, there's more to police work than whacking an imaginary baton.
Of course, Harry. I'm not a real police officer. You are.
That's all he's going to say on this subject.
I've heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike. I'd like to hear what you know about it.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps.
I'm listening.
Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramoritsa. You name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
Hold on, you have a village elephant?
No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real.
Go on.
Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
He laughs. Wait, they moved the container?
Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types.
His face turns serious.
One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
Yeah, he didn't sound like a good guy.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers.
He says, ignoring the lieutenant.
We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
He raises his finger.
An entire neighborhood of killers.
Wait, the whole neighborhood is in on it.
Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base.
And who exactly did the pushing?
There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
He nods at you and the lieutenant.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
It does.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardie, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He's not worried.
How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company?
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do.
He slams his fist on the desk.
Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
True, the one leading them all. And he did look a little off. The name of the company is Krenel this time. It might have been Sediment before.
Of course. You're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me.
You mentioned a lawyer girl?
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Tell me about Titus Hardie and his crew.
Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets.
Separate one from the herd.
So let me ask you this. Which one of the Hardie boys is your least
Oh,
favorite?
that would definitely be Fat Angus. His feet smell from a city block away, and he's always having noisy stomach troubles. Horrible, revolting guy.
So let's say something happens to Fat Angus. Let's say a citizen's arrest.
You would die, Harry. You would die, and in the process start a bloody and completely unnecessary war between the Debarders Union and the Citizens Militia. Angus, his ever-growling stomach, and his smelly feet are all part of the Union. You have as much right to arrest him as I have to arrest your partner here.
He points to the lieutenant.
Actually, less. Because this is my hometown, my territory, and my backyard. You are a guest here, Harry. Please remember that.
Okay, so you're openly threatening me now.
Oh, Harry. This is getting real grim, and there's no need for that. We are friends.
He sits back and looks you in the eye with a wide smile. Everard, I met the Hardies. Can you ask them to cooperate with me?
But of course! It's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
Wait, why are you giving it to me?
I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
I don't need it. I only wanted you to help me with the Hardie boys.
No, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else?
He pockets the bill. Good talk. Let's conclude for now.
Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike.
He leans back, suddenly worried.
I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet.
Great sadness comes over him. Yet?
Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left? So you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
This is another corrupt scheme, isn't it? I'm neither left nor right. I do what my heart tells me to do.
What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it? Or do you think it wants to be found? I think it's lonely and cold. I think it wants to be found, and I have a proposal for you.
He picked something from his teeth.
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
He pulls out an envelope. Kim, what do you think of this?
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
He studies Everard.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm going to hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
He bows his head in shame, but then looks up and smiles.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
What are the signatures for?
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates.
Didn't people already try that with the sports center?
There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
It's a land grab. Got it. Where is this place exactly?
On the coast, Harry. Across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there. A little village, they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry.
And what will happen to the current occupants?
They are just going to have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Are you 100% sure that no one's going to end up homeless?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them.
He shakes his head in disbelief. Okay, but that's not an answer.
We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour.
He means it.
Fine, if I happen to be there, I can ask them.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here.
He hands you an open white envelope.
You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I heard there was some trouble with the water lock, but it should be fixed now.
Yes, indeed.
Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then we can talk about your gun.
I'm going to talk to him about all these things after I've talked to everyone else again.
See you soon, Debardeur. Just kidding, but not too much.
Okay.
Aces high. For the rest of the world, the aces high is just a cool Revachol thing, politically neutral. In Revachol, it still holds revolutionary connotations. Also, have you looked at Lieutenant Kitsuragi's clothes? He wears a bomber jacket, just like the ones worn by aerostatic brigades, and those cargo pants could store tools for hot-fixing your aerostatic. Maybe you should ask him about this.
Maybe I will. What bonuses am I getting? +1 empathy towards Kim Kitsuragi, and +1 esprit de corps for the roots of the RCM. Okay. Now my next thing is there anything else that I can upgrade or no? Probably not. Okay. Let me leave, please. I never figure out, I can never figure out how to exit, again, because the paths are not necessarily easily marked for me. Okay. I do want to quickly check the water, the canal, because I think the canal is going to open up, like, now, so. But I still need to talk to Joyce. Did I actually get any modifiers to this?
You're back before.
Nope. That's fine. Let me leave. I think they said to be here around like 10 in the morning, so this is pretty close to what I need to get done. I do want to talk to the big guy as well. There's a lot I actually want to continue doing, and then there's only so much that's like that I can do right now, given the time limit on certain things. So, someone should be working on this now, right? The repairman? Yes, okay. All these people are repair people. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to call it, because this episode is getting a bit on the long side now. So I hope that you enjoyed what you saw here today, and that you're doing well wherever you are. This has been Karst with Disco Elysium, and next time we're going to go across the walkway. We're probably going to talk to Joyce, and the Hardie boys, and the big guy, and then eventually Everard again. But I hope you're excited to join me for that. Have a great day, thank you for watching, bye-bye.